If you take a GLP-1 and you're like me, you are probably looking for ways to maximize the results. You spend a ton of money on this medication. I want to make sure that I'm getting the best results I can get. So today I'm going to share with you 8 tips on how to maximize your GLP-1 results. Doesn't matter if you're taking Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, Mounjaro, retatrutide, whatever the new medication that's out there, these tips work for all of them. The biggest question I get here on the channel is how to get more absorption of the medication. The most important thing for absorption is just taking the shots right. And that means you're taking them at the places that are indicated on the package that you get. So it's the arm, the leg, the stomach. Don't go taking them in places that are not listed because then it's not going to be absorbed the same. When they run the trials, they run them on these locations. So you don't know if you take them somewhere else, if they're going to work. But also, you need to rotate your shot because if you're taking the shot in the same place every single week, it could scar and you're not going to see it. It's not going to look like the place where you shot is scarred, but inside it could be a little scarred and it could become more difficult for the medication to be absorbed. And another tip for better absorption is the location where you inject yourself. Lilly did a small study and they realized that the participants that were injecting themselves in the stomach had more appetite suppression. So the first tip is to do these shots correctly and rotate the spot. So I usually do the shots on my stomach and I rotate it from top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So I do that type of rotation. Could be even better to rotate with another part of your body. I just prefer to do it on my stomach and I do follow the Lilly study, do follow those results that the stomach is better. Some other people prefer other areas, so that's something that's personal choice. But if you need help knowing how to inject yourself, here's the video where I do it. Before we get into the next tip, make sure to like and subscribe so you keep getting more content like this. Now, the second tip is to store this medication properly. So I'm going to start by saying that I know that some of these medications don't need to be refrigerated like every day. My mom started on Wegovy and her doctor said, oh, you don't need to leave it in the fridge. Mind you, my mother lives in Brazil. Brazil is hot, right? And our town is a town in Rio. It's hot. And I told her, I was like, well, maybe you don't need it in the fridge for, I don't know how long, but why would you leave it outside in a hot place like Brazil? Because there is a temperature that you should be keeping it at. And how do you know if your house is in that temperature? And why would you play this game? So I don't play this game. I put it in the fridge. When I travel, I'm carrying it in ice. That's just best practice. If your medication becomes frozen, cooked, or it's past its expiration date, then it's not going to yield the best results. So why not just put the goddamn thing in the fridge? That's what I told my mom, and that's what I'm telling you. Now, the third tip is to eat protein. This is a mantra that I'm going to repeat, and everyone else that talks about GLP-1 will repeat because this is true. When you start on a GLP-1, you want to lose weight, but you don't want to lose all types of weight. You want to lose fat. You don't want to lose your beautiful, lean muscle that you worked so hard to get or not. You don't want to lose that because muscle is so important. It's important for you to be able to like stand up and go do stuff. So it is really important to eat protein so you can keep the muscles and also lift weights because you don't want to just lose weight and then all of a sudden you're like fake skinny. You're skinny, but you have no muscle. You lost everything because you weren't eating correctly. And the reality is that the older we get, the more we tend to lose muscle. I don't like going to the gym. I don't enjoy it. I love eating carbs. If I could just eat pasta every day, and I wouldn't even need to touch meat, but I have to make that effort because I do lose muscle. If I don't take care, if I don't eat protein and lift, I lose muscle. If you weigh yourself on a regular scale while you're on a GLP-1, the numbers you get, they don't tell much of what's happening because sometimes if you are lifting, you're not going to see the weight go down because you're building muscle. But at the same time, if you're seeing your numbers going down and down and down on the regular scale, you're going to be very excited. And you're like, wow, this is working. But you could be losing tons of muscle. And it's hard to build muscle. It's really, really difficult, especially as we age. So make sure to eat the protein and do the weightlifting. I'm just telling you, it's going to be better for you in the future. The fourth tip is to fill up on fiber. And this is very important for many reasons, but I'm going to tell you two of them. Number one, GLP-1s cause constipation. Fiber helps you go to the bathroom. So that's number one. That's very important. I have spoken about my situation with constipation many times in many videos. So if you watch my videos, you probably heard about it. But this is not just for that. It's not just for constipation. When you eat fiber, it feeds the gut microbes, and those are the ones that signal that you're full. So fiber can help you increase the appetite suppression because it can make you feel fuller. The fifth tip is to follow your circadian rhythm. That means having a good sleep schedule, going to sleep and waking up at similar times, if possible, the same times, but also eating in a certain window instead of just eating at anytime you want. It's better if you eat at a 10-hour window. It's not really fasting because you have this big window to eat. You're sleeping for 8 hours, and then I think there's like 6 hours left. Just don't eat for those 6 hours. Make sure that you're eating at similar times because your hormones, they have a rhythm. Your body releases hormones at a certain time. And if you're all over the place, it's difficult for your body to regulate. If you do this, if you wake up and go to sleep at the same time, and if you eat at around the same time and you have this window that you eat on this window, trust me, everything is going to adjust and it's going to feel better. It's going to feel like the drug is actually the GLP-1 is more powerful because now you're helping it. You're making your body work with it to produce more GLP-1, to produce more appetite suppression, to stop hormones that want to make you hungry when you actually don't need to eat. The sixth tip is to eat healthy fats. I know I talk a lot on my videos about how fat makes you feel sick on a GLP-1, but that's usually the bad fat. Eating healthy fats every day, like avocado, extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of it. I'm not saying like you're going to chug on an extra virgin olive oil bottle, but putting a little bit on your salad, that helps support those satiating hormones. Now let's get into the seventh tip. And that's a very important one that I don't see anybody talking about. And it's the fact that other medications can interfere in your weight loss. There are a lot of medications out there that are known for weight gain. So it's important to discuss that with your doctor so that if that's the case, you guys can work on a plan to adjust these medications and make them work together, or maybe even switch medications if possible. The eighth tip to getting better results on a GLP-1 is to manage your side effects. It seems silly, but it's really important because if you're having more side effects, it's difficult to stay on the drug. And I see it over and over again. People will skip days and they will do weird stuff because they don't want to feel sick. They dread the day of the shot or they just quit altogether. So managing your side effects is very, very important. I have so many videos on how to manage GLP-1 side effects. I've been on this for so long. For me, this is very important because if I didn't pay attention to what I'm eating, if I didn't solve my problems, my side effects that I was having, I don't think I could have done this because I've had really bad days and I had to pinpoint what caused what, how to solve this, how to make it better. So make sure to manage your side effects. This is just going to make your journey way easier. Trust me. And even if you're trying to follow advice like eat more fiber, you have to pay attention to what eating more fiber is causing to you. Is it giving you side effects? Are you feeling bloated? Because if that's the case, you have to take it slowly. That introduction needs to be on a slower level. So everything is personal and you have to listen to your own body. Everything that I'm telling you is what worked for me. It's what I've seen on my research, but everybody is different and you have to pay attention to what your body is telling you. I'm going to add up here my playlist with everything you need to know on GLP-1s, and that's going to make your life easier because it has everything from side effects to how to get discounts. Everything you need to know basically is there. and I'm constantly adding more content. So make sure to check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you when I learn some new stuff.